Bill. And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Do you realize, Mr. Tillerson, people around Vladimir Putin are dead? They died? Do you realize, Mr. Rubio, that people surrounding Hillary Clinton died? They're dead. Okay, I'm your host, BKP. You can always send me text messages. Now, we're going to have the Katie Sassine show at 10. Then George is going to be here from 10:30 to 11:30. And then at 11:30, we're going to go to Senate hearings live. You do not have to leave our show. We think we're going to go to Mike Pompeo. It does... So we're going to go to Senate hearings. So FYN TV will be here all day long. And we're also letting you know that we will run, you can go to fyntv.com. We will run Inauguration Day coverage all day long here. You'll be able to watch it live here. President then, Donald Trump's speech. Our advice for the future president all day long has been, please do not accept any rides in a convertible and no trips to Dallas. Okay, before I finish up the last little bit I got, I think I should go to that Pawn Stars. Is that what it is? You know, where they go in and they take stuff and they see what the value is?
That's fake.
Huh?
That's fake.
Is that fake news or is that fake Pawn Stars? This is fake?
A friend of mine went to Las Vegas and they went there to try to see if they could sell some old stamps. And they were told that no, we don't do that regularly. That's only on recording.
Oh, so you can't just walk in?
Nope.
Oh, so if you're set up, you can come in on the recording.
Yeah.
All right, but if you've been up drunk all night long, let me set this up. You have a hangover. You just finished upstairs on the 14th floor. You had a couple prostitutes leaking on the bed. You've used all your money on prostitutes on the 14th floor. You've been up all night drunk. You've lost all your money at the casino, and you have that one thing that's worth $1,000. You can't walk in with the shakes, put it on the counter, and say, "Give me $100."
Nope.
All right. Anyhow, I think that was pretty long, right? I think I should go into Pawn Stars there and see what the value of this 35-year-old Levi's jacket is. I think so. 35 years old, this Levi's.
What is the brand Levi's at on it? You can tell by the brand. Because if it's the old brand, then it's worth a lot.
Well, it's got this tore-up tag. It's the old brand. Or this is the original. This is the Wayback Machine.
There's some old Levi's brand that has the green instead of red, and those are worth a lot.
It's got a date on it. The signature is real. All right, anyhow. Folks, two things I want to go with. Number one, are you concerned? I don't want to leave today. Obamacare, okay? Bernie Sanders said many will die. You'll just start dying. So, folks, I want to warn you because last night the Senate started well on its way, okay? The Huffington Post, be careful, folks. This is not going to happen. You can rest assured that Tom Price, will not allow the new Health and Human Services Secretary will not allow this to happen. My God, you can even trust Mitch McConnell on this. I know I didn't say that out loud or recording, right? You can even trust Mitch McConnell. But the Huffington Post, it begins. First big step in Obamacare repeal. At stake, this is what's at stake. 20 million Americans will be left without health insurance. Still no sign of government Obamacare replacement plan. Still no sign. Listen to this. Let's be clear on the same page. Still no sign of GOP Obamacare replacement plan. If you have not seen a sign of this, you should not be allowed to drive. Because obviously there's other signs you cannot read or you are not aware of. Now, Tom Price and Republicans have had replacements ready to go. Here is the trick. Let me explain to you. Obamacare replacement plan. Unless Republicans duplicate every single word or everything in Obamacare's plan, they will consider it the fake news invasion here. Put up the warning. They will consider it no replacement. See, replacement is to replace. If you break this glass, can you replace it with everything? Can you replace it? If you bring me this glass, you're going to say, well, you know, this is a coffee cup. I can still get coffee. I can still, you know, put some cream in it. It's not an exact replacement. So let's get clear what the media is going to try to shove down your throat with their whatever. See, if you break this one, they're going to tell you that Republicans are not prepared to replace this one. The Republicans are going to bring this one, which is better. It says FYN, right? Always. And they're going to swear, whoa, that's not a replacement. Anyhow, all right. So, don't believe it. Bernie Sanders goes to the floor last night, tells everybody, oh my God, many are going to die. So if that's what you see out there, the zombie apocalypse, many are going to die. If you can't go to a hospital, you die. That's almost as bad as that whack job that said, put up the big board and said the Republicans' health care plan, was it die soon? Who was that whack job in Florida? Die soon. He goes up, takes the floor of the House, Republicans' health care plan, die soon. Well, Bernie Sanders takes a page out of his book and he says, hey, people will die. Many will die. If you can't go to the hospital, you will die. Just saying. I don't know how we live so long with people just dying. And here's the thing that they want you to believe is before. Now, if you are 9 years old, let's go with 9. If you are 9 years old, nobody knows how in the hell you got through your first year until Obama, or your 2 years, because it took a year to get in place. So nobody knows how you became 2 years old before the anointed one, Obama, put this in place. So you will die soon. Okay, let me read this because there's two things I want to do before we leave today and get out of here at 10 o'clock. Senate opens Obamacare repeal drive with overnight marathon. Senate Republicans launch their effort to repeal and replace President Barack Obama's landmark health care law early Thursday morning, approving a budget blueprint that they've dubbed the Obamacare repeal solution. The Senate vote was 51-48 along party lines for the measure, which relies on the same budget process used several years ago. So this resolution will set the stage for the true legislative relief of Obamacare that Americans have long demanded while ensuring a stable transition. So there's no reason to believe that they're interested in any kind of stable transition according to the fake news. All right, but it's well on its way out. Now, another one I want to know from you right now before we go. Two more subjects I want to cover. Donald Trump, and I want to know this from you. Please send me an email, chief@fetchernews.com or 706-889-9700. In the Depression, and I don't have time to go there, during the Depression, Herbert Hoover made some moves. I forget the name of the act, but there was an act to put tariffs on to protect jobs here. It did not go so well, okay? So, one, I want to know if you're concerned that Donald Trump continually brings up company names, talks about companies, and talks about companies staying in this country, directly going at, and I want to know, number two, are you concerned like he just endorsed LL Bean? I mean, are you concerned that he kindly endorses some of these companies as a president? And last but not least, There's twice. There's been a couple times that when he comments, the stock market on a particular product goes down. Okay, remember, was it Martin or Mary? What's the F-15 down there in Marietta, Georgia? What is?
Robinson, Air Force Base, right?
Yeah, but no. What's the company that's down there? Lockheed Martin. Lockheed,
Yeah,
right?
Lockheed, right.
Lockheed. He made some comments about Lockheed being overpriced. The stock went down. Made some comments about Boeing. The stock went down, right? Now he's made some are you concerned about that? Because I want to know all those things. Those are the questions I have. Are you concerned that he makes comments and stocks go down? That he makes comments about specific companies wanting to leave the country or where they make their products, or he makes comments endorsing companies? That being said, yesterday, this is from the Washington Post. Yesterday, how do I do this, man? I stayed up at 11 o'clock. Trump on drug prices. Pharma companies are getting away with murder. All right? Now, I want to tell you my opinion. I want to know what you think out there. But here's my opinion. So yesterday on January 11th, Trump on drug prices. Pharma companies are getting away with murder. At his first news conference as president-elect on Wednesday, Donald Trump accused the pharmaceutical industry of getting away with murder and said that he would change the way the country bids on drugs to bring prices and spending down. Here's a quote: "Pharma has a lot of lobbyists, and a lot of power. And there's very little bidding on drugs," Trump said during the event at Trump Tower in New York. "We're the largest buyer of drugs in the world, and yet we don't bid properly." Big Pharma stock went down. Do you care? Now here's my opinion. No, I do not care. I do not care. I, for one, am very clear. I'm not a George W. Bush fan. Period. Not a fan. Not an Obama fan, George W. Bush. I was not a fan of the prescription, Medicaid prescription drug plan that had no way to pay for it. That all these pharmaceutical companies know that no matter what price they put on something, it's going to get paid. So do I care? Yes, sir. Do you want to ask me a question, Mr. Cole? Make it quick. I'm on a roll.
I was curious, what are your thoughts about the company that makes the EpiPens? What are your thoughts about them just jacking up prices?
I don't know what to do with him. I'm on a roll and he throws
I'm
EpiPen
curious.
right in the middle. All right, look, George. Curious George, no pun intended. You know what curiosity killed? Yeah, Cole throws in a great point with the EpiPen. There are insurance companies that will no longer pay for it. They jack these prices up. Now, I don't want to go after them at this time. I want to be clear. Do you care that Trump brought that up and stocks dove? No, I do not. Let me tell you why. America first. The forgotten man. Remember in the campaign, Trump told you about the forgotten man? Remember that? No longer. America first. Remember that? That's who he is. That's why he said this. Until you have a friend that's around 80 years old, that has worked their entire life, paid their taxes, raised their family, okay, honest people, veteran, and they tell you on the 4th week of the month, and you call and say, "How are you doing?" And they say, it cost us, my wife and I, about $800 a month in prescriptions. Okay? And the last week of the month, they don't even have money for groceries. Until you have that friend out there, which I do, you'll learn not to care that Big Pharma's stock dropped because a pill that should be $1 is $900. period. That's my opinion. What's yours on what Donald Trump is doing? I'm okay with some of this. I want to hear from you, 706-889-9700. Now, I've only got 20 minutes, but for me, 20 minutes could be a long time. I want to know, what do you think? I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here, Cole. I've just about got all my notes covered for the day. All right. This is the issue that you're going to take me to task. But this issue I'm about to bring up, this subject, is only to help in all of us just thinking. I'm just asking you to think. I'm asking you to think this one out. Now, Giuliani, this is all circumstantial. Rudy Giuliani, mayor of New York City. Now just think this out, folks. Don't yell at me. Just putting this together. He's the mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani. And one morning, as we were all getting ready for work, rushing to work, 2 airliners flew through both of the towers of the World Trade Center. Okay. Giuliani, mayor. The towers collapse along with Building 7, and we've all seen the controversy there. I'm not going down that road, but the towers collapse. Giuliani's mayor. The next thing that happens is, Rudy Giuliani becomes America's mayor, most trusted mayor in America, and he brings New York City back. What does Giuliani do? Giuliani gets into deeply the security business, in securing you and I. What does the government do after 9/11? Oh, they immediately, want to protect us. God knows we needed protecting. God knows we need the Department of Homeland Security. God knows we needed more government intervention. God knows that we needed our phones tapped, we needed our emails tapped, because after 9/11, Rudy Giuliani's the mayor, government needed to help us. All right, so in a disaster and in a time of need, we, the American people, love for the government to step in and take care of us because it's only right. So let's fast forward. Now we're up to Rudy Giuliani is great friends with Donald Trump. They're both from New York City. I'm just saying here, just saying. I want you to think when I'm done. So they're both from New York City. They both were there the day the 2 airliners flew through the World Trade Center. And now we have the Russian hacking the DNC. And we have cybersecurity. And we have all of these big problems with hacking the Chinese, hacking the Russians, we have these major problems. We have Yahoo was hacked, your bank accounts are hacked. Why? If they took Hillary's, or if they took what I call, Cheese Pizza Podesta, if they hacked his email because his password was password, no big deal. But then if they hack Yahoo and steal 1 million, accounts, or they start hacking the bank where you put your paycheck, your hard-earned paycheck. Now you're starting to think, you know what? My government should do something to stop the potential hacking. So, Giuliani, which you and I thought all along, Rudy Giuliani, which you and I thought all along, because many of you out there were with me, we thought he was going to be Secretary of State. No, he's real close to Donald. We thought he was going to be Attorney General. Well, today we're watching Rex Tillerson. Rex Tillerson, is Secretary of State nominee, all right, Senate hearings, confirmation hearings. We thought that would be Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump's sidekick. Went to every rally, flew on the plane with him every day. Then we thought he would be Attorney General. Hey, now we're watching Jeff Sessions at the Senate hearings, right? So that's what we thought. Then we all wondered why would Donald's closest friend with the ability, America's mayor, to protect us and be Attorney General and Secretary of State, Why did he pull his name out of the hat? Then the fake news media went after Trump, or went after it said Giuliani, and he got in trouble with Trump. Well, Giuliani was still on the plane. I had pictures on the show that day. Rudy Giuliani was still on the plane with Donald Trump. Nothing ever happened, folks. You need to remember that. Nothing ever happened between Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump. Well, Giuliani came out and shot his mouth off, so Trump had to pull him back. Did not happen. Rudy Giuliani went out and said some things, but Donald Trump never pulled him back. I'm going somewhere with this, all right? So, Rudy Giuliani, the Russian hacking, the Yahoo hacking, the Chinese hacking, they may get into your, and I'm looking for something here, so bear with me on my list. They may get into your bank account. So what will Giuliani do? Interesting. Rudy Giuliani will create, because there won't be a conflict, because he's going to still be a private citizen, so he can still travel the world and sell security products, but Giuliani's going to head up a cybersecurity group. They've announced Giuliani will head up a cybersecurity group. And they're leading you to believe, now I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this yet. I'm just asking you to think all of this out. So Giuliani's out on his, the Fox propaganda. I'm sorry, folks, for as much as MSNBC is propaganda the other way, Fox is propaganda for, lining up the Trump people to sell their products. Now, don't get mad, but come on, you've got to face the truth out there sooner or later. So Giuliani goes on where else but the Fox propaganda news network there to roll out what else but Giuliani creating a cybersecurity group just in time to save us. Folks, I'm going to share this. I'm going to take a brief break and I'm going to come back and set up the end of the show. I was looking into Alexa. Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what's today's date? Alexa, why is Cole getting on my nerves? All right? All the above. All right? And then this case came out that I can't go back and look at. But I did not realize that through this device in my home, Amazon was gathering my data and recording it. So everything I asked Alexa was telling somebody else. She was worse than Clapper and Brennan at the Intel. Alexa just couldn't keep her damn mouth shut. She was saying everything. But what she was doing, she was putting in a database over at Amazon. That's what I understand. Then I got to thinking, cybersecurity. See, we heard Russian hacking all the way along. Now cybersecurity. And how could we turn our backs to this new age of cybersecurity that we need, all of us, so badly? And why do we need it? Because the government told us so. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Zip it, Cole. Zip it. Zip it. Take us a break, friend.